Hello and welcome to Life and Fight of a podcast. This is a UKFC Fighter edition. I'm Jake Cross from Empire Grappling and I'm joined by Mike Thompson, who is the former UKFC interim lightweight champion. How's it going, Mike?
Good, as well as can be, mate.
So, for people that don't know you or people that do know you, we'll quickly touch on your career to date. So, you're an amateur mixed martial artist. You got a record of 5 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. Like you mentioned, you've held the lightweight championship at UKFC. What got you into this sport? What was the first thing that made you think, right, I'm going to start training?
I don't know, a long time ago. When I was a kid, my brothers, his mates, they all boxed, so that's why I first got into it. Following them really, my brother boxed for the Rotunda in Liverpool, and his mates, and I just followed suit really.
With regards to the boxing then into MMA, would you train elsewhere? Obviously, now you're under Jason Tanner MMA Academy. Was there anywhere else? Where did you train anywhere else before that?
No, I've been through stages. So I boxed as a kid, stopped boxing for a bit, and then went into Thai. Done Muay Thai for a bit, and then obviously ended up wanting to do MMA and ended up in the MMA Academy.
So where did you box and then Thai after that?
I boxed for the Rotunda and then I done Thai for the Pit gym in Liverpool.
So it's all been based in Liverpool?
All based in Liverpool, yeah.
So when you got into the MMA side, how long was you training before you had your first fight?
I class myself really as new to the sport. I've only been doing it a couple of years. So it's been a short, I sort of climbed the ranks and went from my first fight to title fights very quickly, which has been good, but it's also good to know that I've still got so much to learn. Do you know what I mean? I'm still a baby in the sport. I've been doing it a couple of years, so I know it's only just the start for me really. Do you know what I mean?
Did you get into MMA of the mindset of that you wanted to fight, or was it just something different?
No, 100%. I wanted to fight. Yeah, and I liked watching it. I liked watching the sport. And my mate was a friend of Jason's and set it up, and then it sort of went really from starting to train to competing and then fighting. So it's been a short space of time. I sort of climbed the ranks quick. So it's been good, and there's loads more to come, definitely.
So you made your debut in June 2018, which was nearly a 2-year anniversary of that. That was on Cage Warriors Academy against Jay Cooper. What was your mindset going into that fight? Was it excitement? Was it nerves? What was it?
Bit of both. Definitely excitement. I love combat. I love martial arts. So I love to fight and test yourself. So I was definitely excited. But obviously, it was your first fight in a new sport, so also you're nervous as well. But I think you need that, don't you? So, but it was definitely excitement, and it went well, and it was good to get in the cage and do something that I've wanted to do for a while.
Was there anything that, from watching MMA or UFC or whatever it was there any particular event or fight that made you fall in love with the sport?
No, all of it, so as I say, my brother got into the MMA and Jiu-Jitsu before me when I was younger, and he used to watch UFC 1, UFC 2, all the old Prides, and so obviously just sat around watching, and you end up watching it yourself, and I always loved it, and I probably should have started it sooner, but not that matters, but I watched him do it, get involved with him, and so I loved it. From day one, it done me head in when you'd have old boxing fans or other sport fans, and they say, "Oh, it's this and that." And you just watching it, you realise how much skill is involved. But as soon as you do it, and then you realise how much skill involved, you definitely fall in love with it.
So, how old was you when you made your debut?
29.
29.
31 now.
So similar age to me, more or less. What would you, if people watching this for the first time or thinking about getting into the sport, and I wouldn't say we're old, we're just getting on a little bit. What do you feel like you would mention to them that someone that's worried to get into the sport in the late 20s?
Well, I obviously different people have different aspects on that. Now, people say age is just a number. It's not just a number, definitely not. But I think if you've been physically involved in any types of sport, especially combat, and you've had no bad injuries, go for it. Because I know now I'm 31 in the head, but I'm not 31 in the body. And I fly through camps, I enjoy it, and I think if anything, it's sort of bringing out the best in me, definitely. I'm sort of, obviously, maybe, do it a bit younger, but I know it's definitely, don't let it stop you, 100%.
So would you reckon, so people around the Liverpool area, obviously there's plenty of gyms in Liverpool, the stockpile of talent and gyms in Liverpool is crazy. Why should they pick MMA Academy in Liverpool? What makes it your perfect home base?
Honest, people say like about gyms and this and that, like obviously the coaches, you've got Jason Tam, Mike Wooten, Jay Owen, Loz Fitz, you've got the top coaches in every aspect of MMA, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, striking. And the lads, the banter, it's just a boss gym. There's no chips on the shoulder in anyone. Everyone's level-headed, and no matter at what level of the sport they're at, the coaches and everything, it's a good, really good place to be around at the minute. Definitely, we're really getting on with it. Apart from obviously this madness that's going on,
which we will touch on. So we'll move on in your career now. So you've made your debut in 2018 in June. Then you moved on to Sean Alpin. That was in Cage Warriors 96. Was that in Liverpool as well?
It was in the Echo. Yeah.
So what was that like fighting in your hometown, your home arena, and then that was your first full fight, your 3 rounds?
Yeah, it was my second fight, and I was fighting on a big, massive show in the Echo. So it was good. It was good to be given the opportunity, and I loved it, and definitely want it more. It was a good night, you know what I mean?
What was the like? I've been backstage at the Manchester Arena, which is my home arena, and I would love to host an event there one day, because obviously I don't fight anymore. You've done that as an amateur. Is there a goal in the future to come back as a pro, or even come back again?
No, definitely. The goal is to go pro, obviously. I've talked about it, and that's definitely the goal. But at the minute, it's just to, obviously, once this is done and we get back, get busy, get back to the top titles, win titles, and then obviously to go pro, 100%, and to fight in the Echo and any big arenas will be definitely a goal on the agenda, definitely.
So, like you say, you've only been training a few years in this. You're still learning. What's keeping the momentum going for you? Is it to win the titles, like you say? Is it to become a professional? Is there sort of like an end goal for you?
As a fighter, I'm a fighter, and I always have loved combat. As a fighter, you want to go as far as you can go. There's definitely no end to it, and I don't think, they'll win a title. I know how much of a baby in the sport I am, and how far I can go. So it's definitely the agendas. The goal is definitely to go as far as I can possibly go.
Sweet. So the next fight is the infamous Teddy Stringer. So you fought him and you defeated him in December 2018. That was by split decision. So obviously back at that point, you didn't know if you was ever going to rematch him. What was your thoughts coming out of that fight? That was your toughest test to date. What was it like facing Teddy at that point?
Well, we knew he was good, and he probably knew I was good. So it was a big fight. Definitely, we started moving up the card then, and it was good. It was obviously in Liverpool, and it was a good night. I thought I performed brilliant. It was a split decision. It could have been unanimous. It was an hard fight. I'm not a liar, so I wouldn't say it was easy and this and that and Slater. It was an hard fight. The second round was really tough. Third round was close until the end, when I sort of come out of a bad position and ended up on top and took control of the fight early. So it was a hard fight. And straight after that fight, Teddy said to me, I want to do it again. And I said, anytime, mate, anytime. I said, whenever you want the fight again, it's there for you.
Sweet. Which we'll touch on later in this conversation.
We'll touch on that
there's a story to this. So, fight 4 for you was a draw on ISFC. What was it like? The strangest feeling must be you fight in a camp, and in your mindset you're going to go in to win, obviously. And then the other side of it is you could lose. There's always a chance that you could lose.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Going into the fight and then it's a draw. It must be deflating because.
Have you seen that fight?
That's one of your only fights I've probably not seen.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if ICE released it. Did ICE release that card? I'll have to look back if they have, or try and find a link.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's definitely on YouTube. Yeah, that fight. It was. I thought it won, but again, the sport you're in, it was. I thought it definitely won, and I wouldn't say that if I didn't think it won. I'd happily say I got beat by a better man, or it was a draw. I thought it won every round clearly, which you might watch and agree or disagree with. I don't know. But again, the train kept moving, and we go on again. It didn't just as me. No, definitely didn't stop the momentum. It made me even more focused. Sometimes you need it, don't you? Do you know what I mean? So definitely. Just as we'll touch on in a minute with the last fight.
So then you move on to Bartek. I want to try and pronounce it like Kepchik on Almighty. You've raised up through the ranks now. You had a great debut, quick finish, then you decision, then a split decision, then a draw. So it's like it's getting harder, and then it's like something clicked. You walk in against Bartek, you finish him early. I think your mindset probably at this point is, I'm not going to decision. The last two, one's been too close and one's been taken out of my hands. It was that sort of your next. You thought, I'm going to start taking out of the judges' hands if possible.
Possibly, yeah. Well, but again, that's in me. If I see the chance to, I'll tell you the truth, I didn't go in there with that mindset to think taking out the judges, and definitely didn't. And I'd watched them, and he just previously fought for a title, and I think his record was 6-1 and 7 or 5 or 6, 7-1. So he's only been beaten. So he's only been beaten in the title fight. So I knew he was good, and to be honest with you, in the first few seconds, he actually clipped me with a good shot. And like after this, speaking with friends and family, they were like, "Have you done it?" He had, yeah, but I was more off balance. But he got me with a cracking shot. And back to the cage, and obviously I seen an opening and finished them well, didn't I?
Definitely. Then it's the next fight is the first time I personally met you, working with you at UKFC. This was for the interim title because Teddy was our champion, Teddy Stringer, and he was in the Worlds in Bahrain for the IMAFs. So you stepped in. You was next in line anyway. We knew that from speaking to Jason and your record and stuff. Then you fought a last minute opponent of Benjamin Chenna. Boy, did you finish that guy! Like literally, you just came out the fence, came out and just dropped him. What was that like for a finish? Obviously, you've had quick finishes anyway, but sweet shot in front of a great crowd that we had that night. What was it like for you?
Boss. I didn't go in again with the mindset of you going into a fight in a sport when you know someone. We didn't know much about him. Obviously, he was a late replacement, but no matter what, you never should go in. This is like advice to anyone thinking the job's done or you're going to finish him early. You should train hard for 3 or 5 rounds, no matter what you're prepared to, what you're fighting at. You should prepare for it properly. So I didn't go in thinking that. But I knew he was a striker, so I knew I'd get, well, we presumed he was a striker coming from France. And I thought that there might have been an opportunity there for a KO, and it happened very quickly.
That was...
And some people weren't happy over it, actually. They were fuming.
I thought
they were wanting reimbursement for the tickets.
It's as quick as it is. And you never know if you didn't catch him with that, like your previous fight against Bartek. He clipped you withstood it, and then you finished it. Isn't
it? That's the game. It can change in a second. You know what I mean? It's 1 minute you're on top, 1 minute you're on the bottom, which obviously happened to me last fight. But it's if you see an opening, go for it. But it's an hard game, isn't it? As we know, you know what I mean. So you've got to be ready, definitely.
Right, we'll touch on the back show we led into earlier. So Teddy Stringer, you fought in your third fight. You beat him split decision. He said he wanted a rematch. The best case scenario for someone that's won a fight against someone already going to a rematch is where something's on the line that they won. And that was a perfect opportunity for you. You were the interim champion. He was the full champion.
Definitely.
You wanted his belt. He wanted to retain his belt, but he also wanted that win back against you. So it was the perfect fight, and it just the way it puzzled together. interim champion, full champion. Let's merge it. Let's unify it.
Definitely.
What was your mindset going into it? Was it you looking back at the original fight? Was you going for it as a complete fresh?
Definitely wasn't looking at the original fight. I'm not stupid enough to do that. I didn't look. It was 18 months prior, or a good 14, 16 months prior. So I knew we'd both changed. You don't, if you're training hard, you don't stay still in this game. You move, definitely. So, and I didn't really take nothing from the first fight. And I went into it knowing it was going to be a tough fight, but I fully expected to win. I knew I am making no excuses. I wouldn't come out now and say, oh, this happened, or I had this injury, or this. Truthfully, honestly, I had the best camp I've had. Like, obviously, you go through camp, you have niggles, you're training hard, 6, 7 days a week, twice a day. You'd have, every fighter knows what it's like going through camp. It's horrible. You'd have injuries all over your body. I had no injuries that camp, so I wouldn't make an excuse and say, oh, this, that. I had a boss camp, and I knew I was going into a tough fight, but I thought, I didn't think I was expecting to go out there, but that's the game, isn't it? First round, Teddy was dominant, done very well, and second round, I come out, my timing was better, caught him with some lovely shots. He again got me in a bad position. I come through that bad position and ended up in a great position, like ready to take control of the fight, which I was doing for a good bit, you know what I mean, in the second round. So, but no, definitely no, not one excuse from me on the night to say, like, that's what can happen against the good lads. But obviously I made a mistake and paid for it, and that's all that happened. Obviously, Teddy says it was a dominant victory, and unless you know the sport, but the second round was definitely not dominant, and I made a mistake and got capitalised on that mistake, and it happens.
I think looking at it from my point of view and as a fan as well, you're right completely. Teddy dominated the first round, went in there, controlled the pace. Second round, it's like something switched on for you, where it's like, right, I need to change a few things. He did this, capitalising on some of that mistake that I made in the first round. You came out, your timing was better. You got, was it caught in an armbar for the first one?
I got the first 30 seconds of the round had come out and my timing was better. Yeah. I was definitely catching him with shots. He took me down, he ended up taking me back. And looking back, looking from the outside, people might think, oh, he's in a bad position again, which I was, and I could feel I was definitely in a bad position. But there's no quitting me, and I got him, shook him off, and I ended up then on top. And I was controlling the fight then for a long, I was catching him with some lovely shots. I was on top. I was controlling the ground game, and then he caught me in was it armbar first?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He caught me in. Trying to go over it now. He caught me in a triangle. He went for a triangle.
And then you shook it out of it,
got
and
out
then the armbar.
Triangle, and then he caught the armbar.
That's right.
If you watch the last minute of that fight, I was definitely in the fight, more than in the fight. I was, you know what I mean, and I was prepared to go 5 hard downs as well. So it's, and it gutted me. It hurt me bad, because not expected to win, but I knew, obviously against top level guys, I know I could have won, and I know what it's ifs and buts now afterwards. But the first round, he was dominant. If he would have won in the first round, I would have said he got beat by a completely better fighter on the night. But in the second round, as you said, I changed stuff, and I was in the fight big time, ready to go and take the fight on, and I got caught. So
I think it hurts more when you know you're turning it around, or that you were making it more of a level fight, and then you.
Okay.
So we're back. Unfortunately, I had a power cut, so I'm back on. So Mike, apologise about that. So
no problem.
The first bit recorded, so we're fine. So what I was going to say, so we're at the Teddy Stringer fight, your most recent fight.
Yep.
Lost by submission, but you were turning the fight around, like we said. The point I was going to make was, because you technically took no damage, and it was a submission loss, and you just knew you got caught, and it was a tap. That must be more gutting in a way, because you don't feel like you've lost in a proper fight. You would rather have lost in a war, maybe. What do you think?
Well, there's two sides to that. it was definitely gutting him because don't get me wrong, it was a great move by Teddy, but it was a mistake because I should have stopped it before it happened. So yeah, it was gutting and thinking, obviously, I'd much rather get beat in like in a war or in like a grapple that is sort of like it was the start. Do you know what I mean? And it was but there's another good side to it that it's a good loss to take in a way because, as I say, I took no damage in the fight. So it's straight back to the drawing board. Obviously, you can get beat, people get knocked out. You can't do anything for 6 weeks. People get arms broke. You know what I mean? Bad at shoulders, pops, elbows, whatever. You're out for a long time. Now straight back to the office, straight back to the drawing board. And it was gutting him because I felt myself coming on, as you said, and I felt the tide changing. So it still hurts now, obviously, and it hurt badly, really did hurt. But a week later, I was back in the gym training, and like people say, a tap's on a bad one to take if you don't get hit because there's no stop to the momentum. Straight back, I lost against a good kid that I was well in the fight, so it keeps going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. Obviously, lockdown scooping any sort of immediate rematch or immediate trilogy fight, but I'm guessing at some point in the next sort of year or two that it will be a trilogy fight, or even it might even be the pro ranks. You never know how things.
Definitely, yeah.
No one predicted this lockdown.
Well, after the fight, I said to Teddy, I want the rematch. I said because. Well, obviously, when I beat him, he said to me, I want the rematch. And I said to him, no problem. So I said to him straight after the fight, I want the rematch. And he said, well, I'm going to away to do something. So it can't happen yet, but definitely in the future. And obviously, it doesn't look like that's going to happen now. We both know that we're going to fight again, whether it's in the amateurs or whether it's in a year or two in the pros. We know that it's unfinished business. 2 good fights already, so obviously there's going to be a third. Do you know what I mean? Whatever ranks that's in. So yeah, so definitely.
Good. That's good mindset to be in. So let's touch on this lockdown then. So we literally had your last fight, had the last event UKFC February 29th, and then 7-10 days later we're in lockdown. We've been in lockdown for 4 or 5 weeks. How have you been coping as an athlete and day-to-day life?
Probably the same as everyone else is doing. The cup circuit's running. I've got a bag, so I'm lucky to be eating bags. But it's a nightmare as for the fighter. Do you know what I mean? It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare for anyone, isn't it, at the minute? But it's a nightmare when you just want to get in the gym and grind. Do it. Yeah, so everyone is in the same boat, whether it's running, a bit of striking, circuits, weights, it's hard. And it kills. I've been training, mate, but just it can definitely hinder you. Like, just, you know what I mean? You just want to go to the gym, don't you? You just want to go to the gym and get back to what you're doing and take from where. It was literally, as you said, a week later. So I literally got back in the gym. We were in the gym for a couple of days, and then this happened. So it's a nightmare.
What's obviously you're based at home. You've got a family.
Yep.
What are you doing in your day in day out apart from keeping active? What are you
running
watching
after
more
kids? Running after kids, getting chased. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I've got 2 kids. So it's just trying to keep them busy. I feel sorry for them because obviously they can't go out, they can't see the mates. So I feel sorry for them. So that's definitely keeping me fit. After my gym workout, that's probably keeping me fitter at the minute. Do you know what I mean? But it's hard, isn't it? It's hard for everyone. Everyone's in the same boat. It's crazy what's going on, and no one could have ever predicted it. No. I definitely didn't think we'd see anything like this happen. I thought those days were gone, but it's happened, and there's nothing you can do. Is he sitting there moaning about it? It's not going to help you. You've just got to try and keep positive mindset, keep the family happy, and just do what you can do, whether it's training, running, or chilling out. Do you know what I mean? Whatever you can do to pass the days until we go back to normal, that's what you've got to do.
Yeah, are you doing anything that you wouldn't normally do? Like I've been saying to people that I've been speaking to, that I bought a couple of games on my Xbox, started gaming a little bit just to pass a little bit of time. Are you watching anything gaming? What's your sort of
I'm a
pastime?
series man, so I'm trying to get through as many series as I can once the kids go asleep. But at the minute, there's no routine. So obviously, when they're in school, they're up at 7, in bed by 8, 9 at the latest. Now, it's a nightmare trying to get them to bed. They think they can stay on the computers all night. So the routine has completely gone out the window. So it's tough, but what can you do? Do you know what I mean? There's nothing you can do. I'm trying to get through as many, not too as many, but like that's once the kids go to bed, that's a bit of me time to sit up and watch my series. Then, you know what I mean?
Anything you're watching? Anything you'd recommend?
I'm on Snowfall at the minute.
What's that about? What's that on?
I've only just started. I don't know what. I literally only just started it last night, so I don't know what it's about. What it's gonna be about properly. It's just getting going. What else have I been watching? I've been watching all sorts. Honest, I'm a film man or a series man, so I'm trying to. Once I battle to get the kids to sleep, then me and the missus are trying to get through some series.
Cool. So,
like I've just watched the Homeland this morning, before they got up, like the new series. Then there was
the
one
final season.
Yeah, so that I love Homeland. Homeland's being boss, so I think there's 2 more of them the next 2 weeks, and then that's done. I think that's the last series they're doing as well. But if you haven't seen Homeland, definitely watch Homeland. It's about
I'm up to date apart from this season. My plan is going to be that I wait for the final week.
Jake, you
watch
should be.
It all.
This is a prime time. You've been on the Xbox too long. This is a prime time to be watching it. No, definitely watch it. This series being boss as well, because out of how many series has there been?
7 or 8, maybe 7. I think
7. Obviously, for me, it's the best that I've watched. There's been maybe 2 that haven't been up to scratch, but most of them have been brilliant. But this is really good. This one, I'm enjoying it. So
she's a great actress, and she plays a lot of
she's
the bipolar
boss,
very, very well.
Brilliant.
It's something I've been looking forward to. I watched the 2 seasons beforehand, back to back, around January, December time, just gone.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be great. And I thought
you get greedy, don't you? But it's a good way to watch them. So at the minute, for me, I'm watching 1 a week now.
Yeah.
As soon as one ends, I want to put the next one on. Like, obviously, with a good series, that's what everyone's like, aren't they? They have you on the edge seat. You're like, So it's a nightmare waiting for the next week. But you've got something to look forward to, whereas when you've got the 10 of them in front of you and you start one, you're just going to smash through them dead quick, aren't you? To be gone in a night or 2, you know what I mean? So
a lot of people have been doing that. Sweet. We'll start to wrap up. So some quick fire questions for you, and I don't want you to think too much about it. Just literally, even if you don't have an answer, just give one. So first one, ketchup or brown sauce?
Ketchup.
Mayo or salad cream?
Mayo, but I did have a salad yesterday with salad cream, and it was tasty, but mayo for me.
City break or beach holiday?
Beach holiday.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PS.
Fork in your left hand or fork in your right hand?
Bloody hell, I don't know. I struggle with that one.
A shower or a bath?
Shower.
Gi or no gi?
No gi, all the way.
Submission victory or knockout victory?
You'd probably think, knockout. No, I was gonna say something and ignore me. Knockout all the
way. A war or a quick finish?
War.
And then an infamous one, which it's always been up in the air: Anderson Silva or GSP?
Anderson Silva.
Nice one. Awesome. Anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors, friends, family, team?
Just everyone around the gym, all the family, all the team, the academy, the coaches, and just all the same as I usually thank, really.
Awesome. If people
can't wait to get going again.
Definitely. If people want to follow your career now they've watched this, are you on Instagram? Can people follow you?
Instagram, Lefty5347, I think, and Facebook, Michael Lefty Thompson.
Sweet. I'll put these in the bio anyway, so people can follow you. But I appreciate your time, pal. Thank you very much. And if you need anything, let us know.
No problem. Thanks so much, Jake. Take care. See you soon, mate.